There's 5 different scams that are going around right now that I want to talk about. One of them is an old scam that's kind of come back. There's another one that I call the freelancer scam that's particularly aimed towards artists. There's the I'm moving, there's the you're moving, and there's what I call the contest scam. And of all the scams that I'm going to talk about, the contest scam is the worst. I hate it because it's mostly taking advantage of people who can't afford to lose money. But beyond that, it targets models, singers, bands, photographers, and artists who are hungry to get recognized for what they do. And they're willing to do just about anything in order to get recognized. It offers up huge prizes like $10,000 or a place in the magazine, or you're going to be headlining as a band in a major venue. It convinces you that you're going to outsmart the contest. And worst of all, it's legal. So how does the contest scam work? Let's say you find this one on social media. The prize is $10,000, and it's a chance to get your photo in a magazine. It's free to enter. It's free for your friends to vote. The winner moves on to the next round. There are 5 rounds of voting. Oh, and the print says, if you want to, you can buy 10 votes for $1. And you notice it, and that's when you're screwed. Because you think you're the only person who noticed that little loophole. And you're thinking to yourself, well, I can always buy votes if I need them. So you enter the contest. You get your friends to vote for you in the first round. The first round narrows the competitors down to about 30 people. It takes a week. And every day, when you're not in the top 30, you get a text message or email telling you how much you're behind. And it reminds you, your friends can buy 10 votes for $1. So let's pretend for the first week, you manage to get all of your friends to vote for you, but you only have something like 200 votes, and you're not in the top 30, and the cutoff is for the next round, and you remind yourself that 10 votes are for $1. Now, the rules state expressly that you can't vote for yourself, and you can't give money to your friends for your friends to vote for you, but both of those rules are utterly and completely unenforceable, and no one wants to enforce them. Let me explain. You spend $100 and you vault yourself into first place with 1,200 votes now, because you get, 1,000 votes for $100, and you already had 200 votes. So you're doing great, because you reason if you win $10,000, as long as you don't spend $10,000 on votes, you're ahead. But as the deadline for the first week comes up, everyone is begging for votes, and suddenly you're behind again. So you drop another $100 just to catch up with all the other folks. How are so many people getting so many votes? It doesn't matter. By the time the first week is up, you've spent $200 on votes. You and 29 other people who entered the contest. That's like $6,000 right there from people buying votes. Of the 200 or so folks who didn't make it past the first round, I'm just giving you a random number of how many people might have entered, their friends and neighbors all occasionally buy votes. So even though they were cut, each one of them managed to get 20 people to vote for like $1, which means there's like $4,000 more dollars. Around a total of $10,000 has been made by the company who's holding the contest already. And it's just the first round. Week 2 comes in, and it's going to narrow the herd down to about 15 people. And by now, your friends are organized. Only you're already down by 1,000 votes. It's okay, you could spend $200 more, right? I mean, you're nowhere near spending $10,000. So towards the end of the voting, it's clear to you that the other folks are also buying votes. Who knew? You see, at least 29 other folks had the same idea, and they're already in for $200 too. So just like you, they reason, why not spend just a little bit more? You don't want to be one of the 15 people who put in all that money and are cut this round, because if you do, you're effectively spent $400 on nothing. $200 in the first round, $200 in the second round. So you go a bit nuts towards the end, and you throw in another $400 along with the other 14 people who also want to make it past to this round. And by the time you're done, you spent $600 on this round alone. But it's okay, you've only spent $800 so far. You're going to win $10,000. You made it to the final 15. And the other 14 folks also spent $800 on this round. You get the idea. You're spending a lot of money right now. The people who were cut, they spent about $500 a piece this round. It adds up to a lot of money. And all your friends and neighbors, along with 20 of the other folks' friends and neighbors who are getting desperate, each one of them spent about $5. It adds up, right? But you're already in the third round, and there are only 15 of you, and you barely make it to the final 10. And you're not messing around anymore. You drop $500 right at the top of the round. You're not even thinking about it anymore, like everyone else, because everyone else has also spent $800. So you put another $700 in by the end of this round. Again, you're just trying to make it to the last round. So your total commitment for this round is about $1,200, because with the $800 that you already spent, you've already spent about $2,000, right? And if you don't win this round, you've lost $800. So it's worth $1,200 just to get to the end, right? 10 other people also threw in about $1,200, and let's say the other 5 only threw an additional $500 before they gave up. Look at the math. The people who are throwing the contest are starting to make major amounts of money. But it gets worse. Remember, everything that you're doing is supposed to be illegal for the contest, but nobody's going to try to enforce that, and they couldn't if they wanted to. You're in the 4th round. You've made it to the final 10. So far, you've spent about $2,000. Holy crap, you cannot lose this round, otherwise you've lost $2,000. Right away, you spend $1,500 just to jump ahead. Only, you're not the only person thinking this way, and before you know it, you and 9 other folks are in a race to spend as much money as they can. You put a mental cap in your head of you're not going to spend too much money, but before you know it, you spent $3,000 in this round. Oh, and the folks that were cut, they spent $1,000 each, all 5 of them. Now you're in the last round. There are only 5 of you, and only one person gets the $10,000. You're already in for $5,000, so as long as you don't spend $5,000 more, you make money. You reason with yourself that if you spend $4,000 more, and you still come out with $1,000 because you're going to win $10,000, right? All the other 4 contestants are thinking the same thing, and by the middle of the week, you've spent $4,000 more. And now you're really screwed, because you can't lose $9,000. In no time, you spend another $1,000 just to break even, just like everybody else does. You're in for $10,000 to win $10,000. And now something really weird happens, because from now on, you're losing money. It's just a matter of how much money you lose. If you don't win the contest, you won't even break even, so you're willing to spend money in order to lose less money. Are you getting that? So you spend $2,000 more. And if you spend $2,000 more, then you've only lost $2,000 competing in this contest. And that becomes your logic as you go on to spend more and more money. And to be absolutely clear, anyone who runs any one of these contests knows that you're going to be trying to buy votes and outbuy other people. And they're counting on that. And you keep on spending more money. You keep on spending $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 just so that you don't lose more than $10,000. Let's pretend like you spent $5,000 and all the other contestants did, and you stopped right there. I know it sounds ridiculous, right? But it's happening. And I actually know some people who have entered these kind of contests and have lost a lot of money. Don't fall for it. It should be illegal, and it's not.